Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Saturday, March 26, and I'm making the videos today because I won't be making videos on Monday. I need to go to see the doctor dude. So just looking at the S&P 500 here, we've got wave 4 here, just comparing this to the Australian market, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to finish. And that will be a top. Now, I don't know if it's going to be wave 1, C or B here until I start seeing some information over here and seeing what US stocks do and all the rest of it. But as far as Australia goes, we'll be pushing up on the Monday and be looking for a top on Monday, close Tuesday, mid-morning, something like that. I'm not quite sure. It just depends on how long things take. But yeah, just to get in your head from wave 4 to wave 5 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the same for CBA as well. So we've got wave 4 here, a little bit small and dodgy, but looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up into here. Now we may probably push up a little bit high, but you know the normal routine here will be something like this here. So we'll be able to use the 75 to go long or short again as well with all of this, but it'll be something of this nature. So if you're long, stay long to 75, and that will be that. And CBA, we've got one more push to go up here. I wasn't quite sure about all of this here. It's a little bit hard to decipher. I can see parts of it and things, but I think we've just got one more push to 110. It can go higher than that, but not much. Then this whole sequence cycle from here to here will be completed, and we'll be able to use this for a setup to be long or short a bit later on. So all we need is the ABC pattern to come into play here. It might be bearish at that point and come down, but any move above that B wave high here, then we can look to go long at that point. We may be able to get a better, as soon as I know that we're going to be bullish, so some market around the world that's got basically the same sort of pattern, whatever's leading, it could be Apple or it could be something else, whatever it is. As soon as I see that I can recognize that we're going to be bullish, we'll be able to buy lower, and if we're going to be bearish, well then we have to get the retests at that point, you know. So there will be a blind spot from Monday, Tuesday, so I won't know what's good. We won't get a video on the thing, so it'll be sort of Tuesday, well probably Wednesday really. I think we'll be sort of running a little bit blind in terms of what are we going to get, you know. All I can do is take us to the top, and we need to monitor the turn, that's all. So it could be bearish for banks and that, you know, banks and the indices, because if the resources are going to be going in the third of the third here, of the third, this is going to push up quite strong here. So the money probably gets sucked up into the resources over the next wee while. But yeah, look, resources, green line, green light, you know, that's looking good at this point. So on the intraday chart here, which I haven't looked at this morning, I think 20 would be oodles. So as you know, we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 there for our bearings, and 1 and 2 here for our bearings, and didn't mean to move that. So we're looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 in here. So a little bit confused about that there, but doesn't take much to confuse me, unfortunately. So still a little bit confused about it. I think we could go for the A wave, the B wave, and C wave here as an expanded flat, but doesn't really matter at this point. The main point is that it's going, you know. There's a couple of little levels along the way. The medium level here at 901 is, put that in grey, that's going to give us some sort of, maybe give us the third wave here. If we look at this as 1 and 2 here, so if I can just draw this out of 1 and 2, and then it'll be 3, 4 and 5, something like that for this, and then there'll be this here as wave 4 here, and then pushing up from that point. So that's how that will play out. But you know, it's all all good for the BHPs of the world. Now with BHP here, of course, it already looks like, if I had to take a guess, it looks like we've already got a little impulse wave here. So it will fluff around here. It could pop up on the Monday and all the rest of it. But yeah, anyway, just keep building in. Don't need to wait for a setup. It's just basically, because iron ore's going where it's going, we'll just buy, I'll just put that at the $50 mark and then so on here. We'll just get at least 3 orders in here. Now they could come back and bite you a bit on the pullback here. The proper thing to do, is these are our levels here: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then 8. So the thing is really to manage your risk. So it's good to get one as closest to 50 as you can, because you can't really go wrong at that point with it if it pulls back. And then the next one is on top of 1 here and 2 here, and then we look for on top of wave 3 here for that, on top of group 1. If we get support here, this one here, we'll look for a classic trading levels pattern on top of this one, and then we'll move up. But then we've done all the right things. We've built in, if this market is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and we've got all these built in at the optimum going into wave the third of the third, because we're looking to go and way up yonder up here for all of this. Inflation is coming, as you know, and the commodities will create all of that. So yeah, the cost of living, that's going to be the big thing. Store a bit of gold. All the preppers will be excited. But yeah, it's definitely cost of living is going to get out of hand a little bit, I'd imagine. Okay, so sorry for that, just dreaming along. So Rio here, bring this over to here. We've all got wave 1 and 2 here for this, so it looks like it's all good for Rio at this point. So our plan was to add on top of on 20 here for that. Oops, sorry, wrong line, wrong tool. So we want to get a position above here and then also above here as well. Should you get in just here? Well, I'll leave that up to you, but just working through the levels here, because normally I'd buy here, but we bought lower here on a bit of a risk, and then we buy on top of 2 and on top of 3 here, and then we'll get on top of 5 here as well. But yeah, you could add more, do whatever you need to do, but look, it's just looking good, and it's going, So in fact, we'll put 1 here just to get in on the next session. Do you know what I mean? Like, just get in on the open, and everything should be okay at that point anyway. Fortescue here, so it looks like we can take this off here, and we can start looking at this as little 1s and 2s in here, and we want to buy we'll buy again on the next session, and we'll get above the level as well as a classic trading levels pattern or thereabouts. And then we can also build in through here as well, 1, 2, and 3 here if you feel like doing that. This is a really good place for this market, I have to say. This stock pays good dividends. It's pretty safe. We're buying the dip, as they say. I think we're doing everything at the right time. I think give yourself a pat on the back. Alrighty, over to gold, and with gold here, from the B wave to the C wave here, this is US spot gold, we're looking for 1 and 2, and then we're counting up here for 3. I did get wave 4 wrong here. I was looking for wave 4 in here, but it's here. And then we'll look up for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So there's another push up there for that. yeah, if I've got this wrong in the bigger picture, well then I'll only know that once we get 5 waves here, as such as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, however they sort of play out there, anything above that there, then we need to remove the B wave at that point. So if you want to go long here, then that's fine. I think we talked about going long here and I blew that, apologies. So the next one was really getting in over here for that. But yeah, that's sort of where we are at that point. So you don't have to go long there, of course, only for short-term traders. But the thing is that once these 5 waves are finished, anything above that, and then we'll remove this wave 2 down here, and we'll have to look at this here as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here for that. So converting a 5-wave structure into a 3-wave structure. Yeah, that's that. Anyway, for Newcrest mining, we were looking for a little ABC pattern here. So that's going to go up a bit further now, isn't it? So is wave 2 already put in there? That's the thing as well. Like I mentioned before, it doesn't matter where, I've mentioned it a few times, it's just really to buy at 23, 24, 25, 26 and 27, just keep building in at that point. Obviously at this point, if this top goes out, then we're done and dusted for that, but otherwise we need to just wait a bit. I'll leave those there. So I just wanted to check here. Well, that's the 61.8% there. And what I'll do now, I'll just pop that in there. Not that it's the end and be end all, it can go to 78.6, but what we need to do is have a look at the structure there. So it's probably wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5, and that would make the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. So we're just going to have a look at this. We'll just try on 10 ticks. Need a bit more data. Just looking at this first. I think we need to look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 for wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. So that must be the 5-wave sequence. So in this case, we can look at this as the A wave, the B wave, 1 and 2 here, and a 3rd, 4th, 5th to come into play. I need to ponder that a bit longer. Anyway, we're going to be coming up higher here. It's just not finished, whichever way we look at it. And if we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then the A, the B, no, it doesn't work. We're going to come higher. The resistance is in that space there, the biggest consolidation area. Yeah, okay. Okay, we just got to leave that, see how gold goes. But this is likely looking at this here as the low there, and then the A, the B, and the C. So we're definitely going to go up high to the 78.6. But will we pull back at that point? This is what we've got to find out with gold. I think we're on the right track, so we'll just hang in there with that. But like I said, just buying at every dollar is fine. The Australian dollar, so it hardly moved at all. So we were calling a top in here. Is that top sort of valid? Can we, can it turn at this particular point? Do we need to short it under this level here and put a stop above that? You could do that. It's just higher risk. It's probably gambling at that point. It looks like an impulsive wave at that point. I've got that. Let's just go into the 5-tick chart and just have a look at that top, see if we can get anything from there. I was looking at this thing here. That's 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. That would all be the 3rd wave, 4th and 5th. So it looks like we've got 5 waves down. But if that's that, this is a B wave here and this is a C wave here for that. So if it is down for wave A here or 1 here, then this will be an A and a B and a C here. So this should just continue to come down here. But I have to say, if I was looking at this being wave 1 here, then I would say that this wave 2 here is too big in relationship to this one here. So I think that we're in a corrective pattern. So we can come down, and because this came so high here, is higher than the 61.8%. So that tells me that the market is strong as well. So it's up above the 70, the next degree higher here. So it's telling me that it's strong. It's also telling me that the pattern is kind of flat. So we may end up with a pattern of just coming down here in 5 waves and then going back up here like that, That's what I'm thinking. So I don't have a good short trade set up. That's what I'm saying at the end of the day here. So just going back to where we were, I think it was on the hourly chart. Yeah, I still have to wait for something here. It looks like that we can come down and then move up from that point. So I wonder if I missed something here. 1, 2, 3. It's not the best looking structure in there, but it's kind of 5 waves-ish. It does mean that we should go long above the top here though, because really when we think about it, the arrival, the reaction, sort of the first high above the level, we'll call it this one because it's the highest, and then we've got some sort of correction here. So that means we should go long above the top there based on that level there. That's what it's telling me. If this drops down here, then you can drop that down to that high, and then you can drop it down to that high. But just let it open first, let it do its thing, let the dust settle on the open. And then on the short side, we'd need to look at it, but you can see here that this impulse wave down here that we looked at is very simple, and this is complex here, so it reminds me of a correction but not a wave 2. But anyway, I don't want to go short yet, but that would be the long trade setup, so we'll just leave it at that for the moment. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.